So let's start actually from Kiki Stack. Okay, Kiki, please give us the update.
Hello, thank you, Mrs. Chair. So, for the update, wait, um, for my first car, SMU, you are global SMU. So basically, this week I am scheduling another meeting with SMU to discuss a future possible webinar. And I'm also currently working on what is that? It's more like a company profile assessment. So it contains like our company culture and job posting, etc. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then for wait. Oh my God, it's loading again.
You just use
Wait.
you have fast equipment
Mm,
already now.
how come it's still
No, I think
loading?
it's the device. You should. That's why we
Oh
recommend to
my
you
God,
to Mac.
man.
Just out of curiosity, Alethea, what device are you using?
I'm using an Asus laptop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my device sucks. Wait.
Wait, let me see if I have one. I'll send it over to Georgia. Wait, see if I have a.
Okay. Me too. But how come we different?
Oh my God, that's like delayed.
Okay, wait. And then for my UR Global, the speaking opportunities, if I'm not mistaken, it's still loading. I don't know why. Oh, no. I just need to open in my phone. Nah, there you go. And then for your global speaking opportunities and collaboration, there's no particular update until continue listing. And then for your global networking with professor or lecturers of entrepreneurship and emerging economies, uh, I already outreached some professor from Cambridge, entrepreneurship professors actually. And then I already scheduled a time with Marion, but she's she's she doesn't respond yet. So and then for the next card, you are global networking with global university student groups. So tech club from Harvard get back to us, and maybe you can see the my attachment, my apa sih namanya,
Okay, that's good.
the picture that I attach in my card. So basically, they don't typically host individual webinars with their member unless it's directly tied to an initiative that they are looking to implement. But if we in Bukit Vista hosting a public webinar discussing any technical solution, we will be happy to send that link to their members. So yeah, and then I'm half done contacting MIT student groups as well, and I will continue the rest today. And also my last card, you are national UE for UE Universitas Indonesia. Indonesia webinar audiences and internship publication. So as I stated yesterday, it's basically my collaboration project. My project collaboration in collaboration with Kak Cynthia, and I just wait for.
Hello. Is it already done, Kiki?
UE requires poster for our internship program, and I will send it today.
I'm not sure if I can hear Kiki actually.
Stated that it's unpaid, it's a 3 month internship, and the general requirements.
Okay. Honestly, I can't really hear your voice clearly. I'll just look up for it based on activities that you attached on each card. So I'll skip it for now. Let's go over to Jean.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Chair. I'm just writing a few comments on Kiki's card. Kiki, thank you very much. Kiki, we're going to send you a new device. All right, so be patient. I'll send you one of the existing MacBooks that we have here in Bali. And
Yeah, it's already done. Back to
okay,
you, Mrs. Chair.
okay. Hopefully that will get things better. All right, I'll go down my stack. My first card, C1.0. This is the Vista Project Awards. So I think we've had a little bit more success in the most recent one than the previous one. I got some feedback from Lilith, of course, about what we can do
Hello?
better, but most of the feedback was, I think, related to
Hello?
stuff.
Can you hear me, Ara?
Yes, we can hear you, Kiki. I'm starting my run. So, okay, the the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to announce it at all hands what the guidelines are at the beginning of the month, and also what we can do to set your OKRs, given that you know that there's this award. And also, I'll reinforce and remind everyone that we've taken the June bonuses from Survive, and we've attached it now to the July bonus, so people can know beforehand what the stakes are. Okay, so that is essentially the update on my first card. My second card is reusing templates on Trello cards. I was very happy today that we finally got community to sort of really look at it really well today. So that's become more of a strong habit. So thank you for that. That is moving along. The next one is seeking professional guidance and mentorship from ex Airbnb employees, ex Lyft. This one is tabled until the 15th, which is coming up in 2 days. My auto send email will go out to Jabu today. So then we hope to hear back from Jabu, and that will conclude this card, hopefully for a while. Next one, HR 1.1. This is seeking professional guidance and mentorship from startup product managers. I got Mr. Onki from Traveloka to get back to us. He's agreed to talk to us after July 20th. He is the VP of Business Operations, and he works in the CEO office at Traveloka. So that part is pretty good. He's pretty high up there on a product management side. So he's going to speak with us sometime after July 20th. Next is my professional networking jam sessions. So this is a new iteration on professional networking. Before we bring in people one at a time, in the future, I'm going to try to bring in people like 3 or 4 at a time so that we get a group of people to network with us. We think this will improve the networking efficiency, and also it will give the mentors a opportunity to connect with other similar people in their industry. So we think this might be a I haven't really started it yet because I've taken up my time on other initiatives at the moment. I just started the next initiative today. This is HRL.1. This is from a new initiative card that I have posted on the on a new leadership board on leadership development. So anyway, we're teaching people on how to be a good mentor, and started with a class that we had this morning, and we just had it, and hopefully it'll be successful. But if you want to track progress, it's on the leadership development board, where the people who came in today have new cards on tracking their development. And the last one is no wait, actually the masterclass. Masterclass, I really don't know what to do. I guess at some point we're going to have to integrate that into Ara's onboarding program. I think to get the materials from all the different chapters. But anyways, it's just kind of sitting there. I probably will. I don't know. I probably will just pause it. All right, next. I got HR 1.6. This is for seeking professional guidance from training and development experts. So this was inspired from the talk I had with Natasha. After I spoke with Natasha, I became more convinced that you could actually develop leadership in house, and there is a pathway to do that. So I've reached out to a few other people who do learning and development programs to see how we can structure and develop our own learning and development programs in house, so we can improve our talent. Okay, next, this is a fun one. This is HR E.3. This is creating a remote birthday celebration culture, which hopefully can turn into a remote, maybe, celebration culture. So I was thinking, today's Lewis's birthday, by the way. So I was thinking maybe we could jump in during the end of the scrum for revenue management and just surprise her, say happy birthday. And I think one of the things we can do is we have a list of all employee favorite things. So there's food, smells, movies, and songs, and maybe we could organize something around that. I was thinking about delegating this to somebody, but I'll decide who to delegate to after we finish this scrum. Okay, that's it. That's my update. Over to the chair again.
Okay, thank you, sir. So let's go over to my stack. So onboarding trial program, I'm still like interviewing people every day on day-to-day basis. So there is no further update so far. We have two candidates, which is Ang Suting NTU for HR and Joseph Lee for RM or Finance from ITB. And then for the second one, it's also not done yet. I think last session will be today, like to screen the last page on LinkedIn. And then for the happy hours, for this one, I'm actually already have assignment paper for who will be arrange the happy hour in the next Friday. I think it's gonna be Alithia and I forgot Rian maybe. So in that sense, I would delegate this actually to Alithia under my supervisions to arrange, to guide, notify, and giving feedback to each team member regarding upcoming happy hour. So Alithia can just open the paper on the evidence part and see who will be scheduled for this week, notify them on Slack, and then just observe during the happy hour and give them feedback right after. For Keisha and Rafik, you can also send directly to them on your feedback in the based on last happy hour. So far that's pretty much the update for me. Let's go over to Alithia start.
Okay, thank you, Miss Chairperson. So for my stack, so I'll start off with HR1 2.1, I 2.1. So that's building an effective employee engagement survey. So the new updates would be that currently I have gathered certain sample questions. So if you open actually I can share screen. Is it possible if I share screen? Miss Chairperson? I will stop sharing this Trello screen. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So over here, I'm not sure. Can y'all see the document?
Yes.
All right. Okay, that's great. Thanks. So currently, these are the few sample questions that I saw and jotted down. So I think there's more that I can write, but it's just some sample ones first, so it's easier to see. So I categorized it based on the four elements: commitment, motivation, loyalty, and trust. So yeah, then these are the questions. And then currently I'm thinking of, so basically the sample questions, they have to rate from a scale of 1 to 7. So 1 being not at all, the statement does not describe them, or 7 being completely, it's very relevant to them. Yeah. So currently I'm thinking of using Google Forms, but the issue with it is that if I do it in a scale like this, it does not show the various wording, very little or little. It was just not at all to completely. Or I can also do it in a MCQ format or like like this kind of format. Like there's two ways I can do it, but I think I'm still researching on other channels that may be a better way for us to like um design the what is it, the survey. Yeah, so that's about it for me for that one.
Actually, can you still screen share your paper a little
Oh
bit?
yeah. Okay, wait hold on. Here, which this one? Okay. Yep.
Let me see. Okay, maybe is there any comment actually first before we move over to Jing?
Sure. I was going to actually ask Alethea to go ahead and put this on our discussion, and we can take a look at some of these
Okay.
questions and see if they would, you know, stay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So let's go to the next update then, Olivia.
Yep. All right. I'll stop sharing. So then my next update would be for HRF 2.1, the culture of giving feedback to peers. So I couldn't attend the HAR meeting today, so I think I'll join the next one. Yeah. But Jing, would it be possible if I join the other scrums also? Which
Yeah,
other scrums would you be
sure.
attending?
Anyone that you'd like. Tomorrow, I think, is community, and tomorrow's a little bit light, but yeah, you can see the general calendar. So just pick any one. I usually go to all of them, so just
Okay.
come to whichever one you like. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So that would be all for my updates. Back to you, Miss Chairperson. Thank you.
Okay, so if there is no further stuff, let's go to the discussion management paper. Maybe, sir, can you share the paper, please?
Me. Okay. Fine. Du- 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 Okay. All right. Here we go. So
Yeah.
let's see. Where do we begin?
So first discussion, can you zoom in a little bit?
Yep.
Okay, so first discussion is from Jing.
Okay, so my question is actually this: how effective are the interns doing? And should we have an intern roundup every week? Interns give feedback to mentors. Mentor give feedback to interns. Interns give feedback to each intern. So I remember Alethea mentioned to me that one of her, I think it was Alethea or Caroline. They said that the group activity of choosing a name was actually quite good because it got everybody to sort of get together. So I think right now, because we're working remotely, there's we've all gone through a lot of engagement to get to this point. But I think interns have not had that kind of engagement pattern. So I was thinking of ways to actually increase the intern engagement with each other, maybe with their mentor, so that there's more of a there's more activity, I guess, as they begin their time here. So, anyways, that was my idea. I just open that up for discussion. I'll let anybody who wants to continue that idea, that thought.
Okay, so for me, this is how exactly it looks like right now in the current situation. So for the first 2 weeks, interns are focusing on the pairing session and learning materials. In that sense, to control the interns specifically, I delegate that to Hasbi actually to observe and to maintaining the development of each person itself. So then by the end of the week, Hasbi get back to me and I'm like asking like, okay, so how is your team doing? Like, what are the lacking stuffs and everything? That's from the intern sides because they're onboarded cohort, right? And then
Okay.
in the side, I also like gather the feedback from the mentors. So I separated that way. So in the mentors, this because this is Monday, like the new week, I'm asking and follow up each mentors on can you tell me how is the progress from Alithia to Ara? Or how is the progress of Hasbi to Aldo or and so on. So that is basically so far that already been administered. That the things that haven't been administered from Jing feedback is might be when the interns and the feedback the mentors is giving feedback to one another. That's I don't have yet, but yeah, so far that's what happened. So in the first 2 weeks, candidates and the mentors are working closely, and yeah, for interns itself, Hasbi is going to be the one that is um, in charge to actually development of each
Okay. I
team.
didn't know that. Okay. Great. All right, question to you. So, how will, let's say, Alethea hear the feedback from, well, okay, well, you and Alethea are in the same chapter, but like, let's say, for example, let's say Nadine gives feedback about Caroline. How would Caroline hear about that feedback from Nadine?
So basically, for now, there is no guidelines and benchmark. I let people creatively on how to delivering feedback.
Okay.
So there might be like different approach from each mentors on how to delivering feedback. But for me and Alethea, as usual, my way is like having a Socratic method,
Okay.
and then I'm giving the like questioning like what exactly that materials to do. So I've already like divided on each materials, right, sir? So first selection and hiring, second interview analysis. So after one materials that she studied, I will have a discussion with her, and I will have the Socratic method and everything.
Okay.
So by having the Socratic method, if like there is something wrong with Alethea's thought process or how to process it, digest the information, then I will slip there to actually give the correct interpretations of the material. So that's how exactly that I am giving that.
Okay.
So but
Great.
usually at the time of the discussions.
Great. Okay. I think we should pop some cards so that this is a little bit more visible because I couldn't see this was happening at all. So should Alethea then pop a card saying that she's studying this material and put it on her stack so that everyone knows? Otherwise, I might. What might happen is that we might over delegate to the interns. We're like, oh, it doesn't look like they're very busy. Okay, let's give them more work.
Actually, for what exactly that they're learning, they have their own paper, sir.
Okay.
So Alethea's what is it, onboarding program has to be onboarding program. So I'll just share you my screen.
Sure. Got it. Okay. Okay.
Alethea onboarding program. So can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. I'll enlarge your screen and select it. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so for example, this is Alethea HR onboarding program.
Okay.
These general materials is I delivered to Hasbi to actually have discussion to each theme of the sunflowers.
Okay.
And then this is the specific materials about HR. So
Okay.
for example, selection and hiring, these are the things that I give to Alethea to learn.
Okay.
And then in the right session, there is a pairing section.
Uh,
They're already done. For example, for Alethea,
got
Alethea
it.
already have pairing with Kiki for UR guidelines. So
Okay.
that's already been done. So later on, Alethea will still have a few materials. That's for Alethea. This is for Hasbi.
Okay.
So Hasbi can like have a discussion with Giba regarding this material, with Aldo regarding SEO materials, with Rizal regarding branding copywriting.
Nice. Okay. All
So
right. That's really cool.
forward.
That's really cool. Okay. All right. So they're working on onboarding materials, right?
Yes, for the first 2 weeks, they're still focused on onboarding itself.
Okay. Cool. Good. Thank you for that discussion. Over to Alethea real quick. Alethea, do you have any do you have any ideas of? I guess you're working at HR, right? Do you want to get the interns together to bond, like have like some sort of naming session again, or I mean that was just spontaneous, but I don't know. Like, do you have any ideas?
I think I guess it's possible
Okay.
to get us to bond together.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I haven't seen them in a while.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Oh, how sad. Okay. Alethea, I'll let you think of something and
Okay.
get back to us if you. It can be like a whatever. It can be like play charades or something, or it's just some way, or make cartoons of all the Bukit Vista mentors, right? Like draw the silliest cartoon of each mentor, and then show them that after, or yeah, just whatever fun, whatever's playful and interesting. Okay, let's go to Kiki. Kiki, do you feel like the program and internships are evolving from the time that you began?
Yeah, I think so, sir. But but it's pretty much different actually because I mean the environment because when I first onboarded in this internship program, it's only two of us, me and Kezia. So yeah, it's only two of us. But now we have like Alitia, Hasbi, and others. So it will. I think it will be effective to gathering to hold any gathering because there will be many stories, there will be many feedbacks if there's any, and yeah, something like that. So yeah.
Okay, I think so. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, there's good
Hello.
now.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the chair.
Okay, so any further comments regarding this on interns onboarding? No? Okay, if there's no further question, this is actually a topic for me. So basically, I'm asking about how can actually HR contribute in the company survive this month. So what exactly that we need to focus on the company right now exactly, sir? So over to Jing.
Okay. Who wants to be the first to answer that? Oh, me, yeah?
Mm.
Okay,
You,
great. Sure. I think it's actually a great discussion, and thank you for asking. This is what we had actually agreed that we would do. So the first step is discovery, and then prioritization, and then problem solving, and then execution. Right. So let's go through and run this exercise really quickly and see what we can do. Okay. So we got discovery, problem solving, prioritization, problem solving, and then execution. Okay, so let's ask ourselves this question. What is the most urgent thing that needs to be done on the HR mission, right? So let's break it apart and start with mission first. Is it to create a bigger hospitality professional network, or is it to improve innovation culture to lead the hospitality industry? So let's start with that first. That gives us a little bit of context. All right, what do you think it is?
mm, actually, like for both sides, I think it's all pretty much already been good enough.
Okay,
It can be evolve, of course.
okay.
Can be improved. But from both sides, like whether it's going to be like the hospitality or the culture, I would go for the hospitality for now.
Okay, okay, all right. So within the chapter, right? Remember, okay, it's to improve the innovation culture to lead the hospitality industry, right?
Mhm.
Or to, okay, so that's one dimension. So we've picked one side. Now let's zoom out again, right? Let's zoom out across the company. Is there any bigger mission that we can discover about how do we make Bukit Vista the most innovative hospitality company in the world? Now let's zoom out and take a look. Now you take a look at every other chapter's mission and see, can you actually play a supporting role to help the other chapters succeed? Over back to our again.
This is like still in HR field and HR perspective, right?
No, yes, kind of, but this is where you can cross chapter, right? So, is there when you zoom out and you look at like the company as a whole, right? You said that HR is doing okay. We're sort of progressing on both sides on the innovative culture side, and we're progressing on the building professional networking side. So our own mission looks pretty intact, right?
Mhm.
So, but of that, improving the hospitality or the innovation culture is more important. But if you zoom out, right, you zoom out, you look at the entire company, do you see any other areas where there is potentially weakness and where that weakness could be, where you could apply HR skills to support that?
If so, this has actually been the topic since the end of last year. I think I've already discussed with Jing too. It's relate. I don't know if it's relevant now, but something that I feel like can be applied is how we transform HR to EX.
From HR to EX. Oh,
Mhm.
to employee experience, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, for now, like specific pandemic time, I don't think this is like really what is it? I'm not sure if that's urgent.
Mhm.
But if you really want to go global, if we really want to global, that's where the HR trend
Yes.
going. So I think it is good and better if we can start to build that to since now. So then later on after pandemic, we're already in global level. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Excellent. Very good thoughts. Here, question, right? Prioritization question. Does that help us survive in July?
Exactly. That's not like for survival
Right.
mode. It's
Okay.
for
So this is where we go. We can go as HR to help others help themselves, right? So
Mhm.
if you're in HR right now, Ara, and you're looking across the entire company, looking across different chapters, what chapter do you think needs the most help?
marketing.
Okay. All right. Good. Marketing. Does marketing help us survive?
Now
Well, do you expect marketing to help us survive?
they should.
Right. Okay. Then what should they do?
Um, like the very impacted part is that if they're started to actually bring up new lead, not new leads is not closing the deals, right?
Mhm.
But when we start to close partnerships with, I don't know, people in Singapore or Malaysia and things like that. So that's
Okay.
that.
All right. Good. If we did close partnerships in Singapore and Malaysia, how far away would we be looking at until we got revenue for that, Ara?
It really is depends, sir, but it's not that far, I would say. Why? Because we can still target their local tourists, you know. So some people are
Ah,
already starting to have like staycation on
right.
their own city.
Okay.
So I feel like Jogja it's already crowded here, you can't believe.
Okay.
So people are still already traveling in Jogja. So like for example, Jogja property, we can focus on Jogja. So I wouldn't see it's very far. Like it's not like directly going to generate revenue, but it's also not that far if we targeted the local tourists.
Okay. All right. Let's keep on pivoting then. Is there any other chapter where the impact could be more immediate to survive?
HAR.
Right. And does HR need more help than marketing right now?
Does they need?
Do you believe that they need more help than marketing right now?
I think so.
Okay. Well, there's where we should probably go, right? So
Mm.
we scanned within our own chapter. It looks like things are pretty stable. We scanned across the company. We looked at, okay, what we can prioritize. And we found a particular place in the company where we could prioritize, right? It's urgent. It probably has the most impact. It probably needs the most entrepreneurial energy, right? To get like thinking about like, what can we really do? And then it has probably the longest longevity. If we fix it, we fix the company. So there you go. There is your sort of your cancer area. Oh, that's a terrible name for it. But there is the problem area that has the focus, right? So we've done this exercise. We've identified it. Now, from our skill sets, what can we do to help HAR become more successful?
One, hire more people in HR.
Okay, good, good. Okay,
Right? Two, having more insights and professional networking in HR.
okay, good.
Since like there, I heard that they started to have this setting revenue target for each people individual person, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, professional networking, and then three from our side. Mm, not sure.
Okay, all right. Let's zoom out a little bit. So ours said two things, right? One is to hire more people. Two is to get professional networking so that we can advise and hopefully improve the leadership culture there.
Mm,
All right, Alethea. All right, let's go with what we've discussed so far, right? So
yeah.
besides those two things, is there anything else that you could sort of imagine that human resource can help the hospitality air support reservation chapter to solve and help them survive, help them carry on with the survival mission?
Um, as in, I don't really know how, but as in, I can think about it. But I have to, because I'm not very sure like how the hospitality, like which area they actually like. I get they're having like issues. I know about like how like they're in a way they the cello template thing is a bit confusing for them. But like apart from that, I'm not very sure which area they're lacking in.
That's pretty funny that Alethea has detected that already. Okay, all right, interesting. Let's go to Kiki. Kiki, do you have any thoughts? How, besides hiring more people and doing professional networking on behalf of HAR, can we actually enable HAR to carry on the survive mission?
Of course, I do agree with Ara in terms of hiring new people. It can help us and also bring professional networking. And before we start that, I think we have discussed it before with Eugene and Aura as well, that we can help in terms of, let's say, raising brand awareness. I mean, it's related to, like, let's say, marketing,
Okay.
and it also impacts the HAR as well, in probably in for a long term, but it's also impactful. Let's say that. So yeah, that's pretty much from me. That's what I have thinking about
Okay.
so far.
Great. So we got brand awareness, we got hiring more
Mm.
people, and we got professional networking. Okay. What are we missing, Ara? Sorry. When I did this, I just automatically thought Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
That was from charades. Okay.
What are we missing?
Yeah.
Hmm. Wait. So when Kiki said brand awareness, like what type of brand awareness? I need more details.
I mean, the more courses that related to HR is probably university webinars, like something like that,
Yeah,
because it
but
helps us
okay.
to,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
But I think for university relation, it's not for hiring, right? But Jing was asking like beside
yeah,
hiring and professional network, what our HR can do. Hmm.
yep, that's true.
I don't know, sir. What
Okay.
exactly?
All right. So what is sort of like the biggest challenge in HAR? It's to do with leadership, right? We don't have, let's say, very definite leadership structure for HAR. We have senior
Mm,
people, but we don't have necessarily leadership, right? So we have a few things that we need to get straight. One, we need to we need to visualize what leadership structure should look like, right? So should it be like this and with this, or should it be that and with that? For example, could we have a chapter lead and a project manager, right? Chapter lead leads
mm,
the processes and the
yeah,
operations,
okay.
and the project manager is attached to the chapter lead and works on ideas that are new for the chapter lead. So the chapter lead can kind of focus on just getting things done, and then the project manager thinks about how to get things done better, right? That's a leadership structure, for example. All right, if we have that type of thing, we don't want to impose it on HAR and be wrong, right? Because that would be a big tragedy. We'd mess it up. So, how do we verify what the correct leadership structure is, right? How do we assign what a goal for the leader is? How do we create that role for that kind of leadership to happen? So, we kind of need to build the throne first, so to speak. We build the throne, and then the throne creates the king and the queen, right? So, in terms of that, I think that's where the most impact can be. If HR can lead itself, figure out how to design systems, figure out how to get good revenue going, figure out how to get good reviews, then this chapter should be fixed. And this then goes back to everything that everyone else has said so far. All right, if we hire more people without leaders, what happens?
Yeah, it will be messed up.
Right.
So
It just
this we
becomes
have to,
more confusing, right?
yeah.
Kiki, if we get more brand awareness, but people who come expecting great things, they go inside this group and they go, "This isn't what I thought it'd be like at all," right? And then your brand awareness sort of snazzles and fizzles out. So, and then what was the middle thought? Professional networking. That can be helpful, right? We can probably figure out from professional networking how to create this role and teach the chapter how to create that role and then assign people and deliver this particular shape to the chapter. That is how I believe we can actually have the most impact. If you create leadership structure, then that creates a system and then everyone knows what to expect, right? Instead of having to like,
Mm, okay.
okay?
Oh, actually, this is I've already started to working on since last month, like detecting, like gaining feedback one on one from Tandy and everybody else in HR. So that can be considered as survival.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
thing.
absolutely. Look, if we don't retain, look where most of the people leaving are, right?
Mm,
They're in HAR, and if we don't put some sort of leadership vision or whatever around this,
Okay.
it will erode away, and we just have nothing, right? So yes, okay, you see it, right? So
Yes.
highest priority, highest urgency, highest
Yep.
impact, and that's how you get it to work. Okay, great.
Okay. Okay then. Thank you, sir. I'll work on that one.
Okay,
Okay. So thank you for the feedback. Maybe for from Alithia and Kiki, do you have any further insight regarding this? Over to Alithia. No.
No, thank you, Ms. Chairperson.
Okay. Over to Kiki.
So far, no, but I'd like to. It's just a brainstorming question actually. How can we measure each employee leadership and make it more visible, like to us?
Apa gimana?
Hello,
Yeah. Hello.
hello, Jing. Do you hear me?
yes.
Yes.
How can we measure each employee's leadership and make it more visible to
Yeah,
everyone? Yeah,
let's say HR team, all people. It's just a brainstorming question actually.
it's a good question.
For me, it's very visible in the terms on how the entire chapter works. Like this, the people, the easiest ways basically to see whether people in the chapter is working well or not, or are they having specific problems or not. Why exactly this is urgent? I think it is exactly because people are not doing optimized enough on what they're doing. And how do I know that? Because one, people told me, and two, I have observations to the each team member itself. So that's how exactly we measured in the very beginning on whether the leadership works or not. Yes, over to Jing.
All right, Kiki, great question. Actually, Alethea, Ara, and Kiki, you guys should be able to just read and see if a chapter is doing really well, right? I'll give you some clues. When you go on a Trello board and you see people stuck on it for a very long time, you know that there's no fluency, right? You know that this means that the execution or the problem solving part is stuck. No updates, long times between each activity, not a lot of new cards. That means that essentially something is stuck, right? Second is so you're measuring velocity. You're measuring how quickly things are turning over. So usually the faster things are turning over, the more fresh that chapter is. Like take revenue management, right? On pivot number D.1.30 already versus like, maybe another chapter D.1.1. Just by looking at that number, you can see how much flow that they're having. And yes, talk to the team, right? Like, hey, you feel like you're making impact to making your chapter part of the world's most innovative hospitality company. If they don't really feel that way, then maybe something isn't quite there either, right? So you can measure it sort of like just visually. You can also see the quality of the pivots. If people are working on really simple things, like I'm just working on, I don't know, just making sure that every inquiry, I don't know, that every inquiry answer is important. But if they're working on simple things, you can see maybe not a lot of progression. But if working on really exciting things, like then oh, okay, these guys are moving along. So you can kind of take a look. There's a lot of clues now, ladies. And there's all ladies actually here on if the leadership is reflected well.
Okay. Okay, then thank you, sir, for the confirmations. Kiki, does that answer your questions, or do you have any further questions?
Yeah, pretty much. I think pretty much.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to next discussion actually about Alithia share ESS questions for review. Maybe Alithia, you can share your screen again for your questions on the paper.
Okay, yeah, sure. Hold on. Alright, can you see my screen now? Hi, sorry, can you see my screen?
I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. Alright, so I think if you want to see the questions, like, so for commitment wise, some simple questions would be I tell my friends that this is a good organization to work for, then they will have to rate from 1 to 7. So not at all to completely. Yeah. So I'm not sure what in particular what we want to discuss though. Yeah.
Okay, let's start. Back to Ara.
Okay. So for these questions, I would say this is intentionally hasn't been formed to an exact question yet, Olivia.
Yeah, it's more of I think like it's more of a statement rather than a question, because I think like when I read up like when I learned like what I study from psych, sometimes like if we make a question, it could be like a leading question, so like it could actually affect how people respond. Like it could actually affect how they want, like in a way you're forcing them, in a way subtly forcing them to choose a particular answer. Yeah, so a statement is more neutral, and then they have to see whether it describes themselves or not.
Good
Yeah.
principle. All right, interesting.
Hmm. Um, but I don't know. This is like for me like not really apa ya? I don't know if it's like the correct question to be asked about commitment, for example, by judging like I tell my friends this is a good organization to work for. So I don't think that is it. Wait, commit when you said that commitment itself, like commitment to the company from the employee,
Yes.
and then how is that relate to the first question, for example?
Um,
Are you trying to get?
so in a way, because we're trying to find whether like this employee in a way is he or she gonna leave soon. So then usually that would mean that they will is his or her commitment level would tend to be on a lower scale. Like in a way, you won't be as motivated to say yes. I will tell my friends that this is a good organization to work for anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it
Yes,
clear?
over to Jim.
Okay, let's go ahead and pop a third column there, Alethea, right? And
Okay.
let's start asking ourselves some questions. So I like this, and the purpose of this question um, is to determine how dangerous are we to losing, let's say, key staff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, let's see. But we don't know who, right? So let's understand our expectations first from this. The expectation from an employee motivation survey, employee engagement survey, is so that after we have the survey, we can do tangible things to change the company, right? To change the company, because we won't know who specifically said it. So we have to like be able to say, all right, let's start from the reverse first, right? Let's start from what we can control and then work our way back to the questions. So let's say what we want to do after each employee engagement survey is we want to make positive changes that HR can implement to improve the condition of the company. Okay. So then what can we control? We can control basically just one thing. We control programs, right? We control what kind of programs that we want to implement. We control like birthday programs, training programs. We control like employee reward programs. We control programs. Okay. So then what I think we start needing to ask ourselves is what is the quality of each program in terms of its ability to create these emotional responses, right? So let's kind of take a look at it this way. If we're asking about commitment, what program here do you believe helps commitment, right? What
Mm,
program here is making you more? What program do you see here makes you want to stay with the company? Something around that, right? I'm sketching with my mind right now, so I'm not painting the definite strokes yet, but I'm sketching with my mind. So if we have that, then we know, okay, these programs that we do at all are complete nonsense and they don't work at all, right? But these programs are actually really valuable. They help people feel very, very engaged. Okay. So I think around that, if we want to be able to take the feedback from the employee engagement survey and actually be able to make positive improvements, it has to be kind of based on these programs, right? Does this program or what program makes you feel extra loyal to working at this company? Right? What would make you? What is it about working here that is that totally takes away your energy and makes you want to just sleep in bed all day. And then from that, we can decide whether to keep programs or discard programs, right? So I think then that becomes very actionable. And then we have that as our main body of our employee engagement survey, right? So that we can take actionable action. And then I think the next part is to start looking at the things that are a little bit more abstract, right? Like what, maybe what is it that you, I don't know, hate, detest the most? What is it that you like the most? Then we just get ideas for how to start new programs, right? So, what is it that motivates you the most about working here? It's my colleagues. Great. Okay, so let's think of programs that focus on colleagues in the future. For example, what is it that you detest the most? Oh, going to too many meetings. Okay, so we probably should reduce the intensity or the frequency of meetings, right? So I think that is how we can essentially fix the company at all points, right? We need to take surveys on what we believe are the leading programs that result in employee engagement satisfaction. So whatever programs that we're launching, that we're putting out there, is this actually helpful to you? Does this actually make you engaged? Does it make you want to work here forever? Does this actually make sense? Um, and so on. Okay. And then out of that, that's one section. And then the second section is what are the things that would give us ideas on how to create new programs? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. Um, Chair, Mrs. Chair, there's a request from Kiki.
Yes, sure, Kitty, you'll be excused. I think, yeah, just heads up to everyone, we have 4 minutes left.
Okay. Okay. And then here's the last part. Certain things are just inactionable. Like, do your values line up with the company's values? If they don't, we're not going to change our values. We can't change our values. It's too late for that, right? We're going this way, and it's there's no negotiation on that, right? Hopefully, if you find that this isn't the right place for your values, we would have detected that before somebody actually was hired or onboarded. So those are really inactionable. But let me look also, sorry, Alethea, at some of your other questions, and let's see what questions are actionable, what questions are not actionable. Um, would you put efforts into your current job? If we got that answer, what would we do, right? If somebody said, "Hey, look, no, I don't like my current job," what can we really do, right? I can't really help that person who doesn't like their job because I don't know who that person is, and I can't change all the jobs in the entire company to make it, more or less engaging. I don't know, right? Like, what could I actually do from that? So that type of feedback just makes you feel weird, right? You're just like, okay, what can I actually do about that? Over to Ara.
Okay, so maybe to underline what Jing said is more on like, for example, for motivation, yeah, Olivia. Make questions that is actionable to be fixed. So, for example, what you can ask on motivation is that how big or how do you like happy hour being enrolled? So, if person like gives score on one, then it means that people doesn't really like happy hour, right? Then it means that the action that we can do is that whether to fix the happy hour or to actually not having it at all. So from that specific question, if people give five, then we have to maintain and improve it, right? So the question itself, make sure that you get something out of it that you can have further action regarding each question. So the question itself doesn't have to be like 20 or 30, but make sure even only five questions, you can get an actionable result from that specific question.
Very good. And it can be even super simple, Alethea. It can be like, here are 10 programs that HR is currently running. Which ones actually do you believe help you feel more motivated at work, right? Which ones encourage you? Which programs make you feel more committed to work here forever? And just ask those direct questions. You don't even need to like, like, like play psychologist and try to get around to the end goal. You can just ask directly. Which ones help your motivation? Which ones help your commitment? And then which ones detract? Which ones actually kill or the negative of that? And then we can see that, and then we can decide, oh, these are the programs that are working, and these are the programs that just, are are totally not there. Okay.
Okay, sir. So I think we're already running out of
Oh, yes.
time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
already done. So thank you for the structuring the question, Alithia. Hopefully that the insights from Jing is helpful enough. And also, if you need any further question about it, you can actually consult with me. And then let's change for the next chairperson. I think the next chairperson will be Kiki, and then the next secretary would be me. Okay, then since we're running out of time, no feedback, I guess it's time. So, yeah, I motion to adjourn the meeting. Yeah,
Okay. See you.
we'll see you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Lydia. See you. See you,
Bye
Kiki.
bye.
Bye.